We cannot understand the old people because they say that they didn't have internet in the old days.
Hi there, my name is Adriel,
And I'm Matthew.
and this is the Teo-logy podcast. And we have our second guest tonight. Not tonight, I mean today. He's the youngest one yet, right? And he's none other than Matthew from Holy Light as well. I will not go any further to share. Maybe I just start off with just asking Matthew, what made you agree to come on this session and to share your life with us?
So, to be honest, at first I was very nervous to accept the offer, but then I realized it would be quite an experience, and because you're also a chill guy, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, okay, cool, good to know. Yeah, so the whole purpose of today's podcast and why I chose to invite Matthew is because he is of a much younger generation, which I'll let Matthew let us know later. And I thought it'd be helpful to hear from a Malaysian Christian of this generation of how he, not to say that he represents his entire generation, but how he understands Christianity and how we listeners can better journey with his generation. And we'll draw insights from what he says, and then, see where we can take it from here. Like I said, it's going to be a chill session.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Matthew, maybe you start by just introducing yourself however you like us to know you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Matthew. I'm 15 this year, and an interesting fact about myself is that to other people, I'm seen as a hilarious person. I have a very contagious laugh for some reason. And yeah.
Okay, we shall see whether we can get the laugh out of you later. Is that it?
No,
Okay, it's not it. So, what are some of your hobbies?
My hobbies are playing video games. This year, I started to like running for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say video games, right? Oh, every generation, when they say video games, they mean a different thing, right?
Yes.
So, when you say video games, what are the specific games do you enter?
First-person shooters,
Such as?
such as Valorant.
Okay, so again, apparently Valorant is still the thing here right now. But perhaps let's begin with what year were you born in, and based on that year, what generation are you classified as?
I was born in 2010, and I think I'm classified as Gen Alpha.
Yeah, okay, so 2010, at least based on research, right, is the beginning of what Gen Alpha is, at least based on some of the data that's shown now. So we want to make sure that that's clear first. So, if you had to just define Gen Alpha from your point of view in a simple sentence, how would you define it?
I think that Gen Alpha is the generation that is built on the internet, and that our generation, when we do work, we don't think of the process, we just think of the outcome.
I don't know the codes. Don't give me excuses. Give me results.
Okay, interesting. And so it doesn't care the means of what you do it as long as the outcome is there.
Give me results.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you say grow on the internet, which means internet is like second nature to you?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. You didn't know a time when there was no internet.
We cannot understand the old people because they say that they didn't have internet in the old days, but we cannot relate to that.
Okay. I'm the transition generation. So I used to come from a time where to even get internet, I had to the phone line into the computer, and then you had the key. After waiting for like 4 minutes, then I get internet to play Maple Story. Those were the days. Okay, so this is the typical Gen Alpha, and if you were to say what is one thing that we might fail to know about you guys, what would it be?
I think that the generation millennium, they will have a set ways to do certain things, but we Gen Alphas, we try to do new things instead of just sticking to the old way.
Okay. It does sound pretty much the same for every generation on trying to do new things and then sticking to the old way. Can you give me at least one example what a new way might sound that the older generation might not want to change?
Maybe like marketing. The older generation would like to do posters or put it in newspapers. But for us, I think we will put it on social media and on the internet.
Okay. So here's a slightly tougher question, and I might not put this part in. So what is one thing for Holy Light that they can do that will reach out to the generation of your time that they're doing now that you think can change?
Very interesting question.
Yeah.
What they can do?
Because like the brochures already every week they already put it on WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily have to print it out. So that's something I feel like, okay, there's one step forward. But what else do you think that they could do to improve?
Maybe they could like make a website for their church.
We don't have a website?
I don't think we have a website. Not that I know of. If they do, then it's not publicized enough.
Okay. Means do you think they need a Instagram account as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like we get a lot of announcements almost every month there's a WhatsApp group for the church, and there'll be like different events, different talks. But then not everyone is inside the group, so the news doesn't really get out to everyone.
Okay, interesting. Well, it is what it is, and yet we know that that's God's church, and God will send the people accordingly, lah. But noted on that. So certain changes, yeah. Now, let's enter more to the meat of the things, right? Because the whole idea is to gain his perspective of how their generation understands Christianity and what are the certain challenges that they face. Perhaps then I ask you, how did you personally come to know Christ? Yeah.
Okay, so I was born into a Christian family. So from when I was born, I've been coming to church consistently. That's how I came to Christ.
Oh, okay. Now, at what do you remember the moment? So coming to church consistently and just having that kind of culture brought in you, right? Is there a moment where you go like, wow, Jesus, I finally come to know you and I really want to believe you. Do you have that moment?
Not that I can remember. Probably I did, but I can't remember.
Okay. Now, who were the key people that sort of grew your faith?
Okay, so first of all is obviously my parents. They bring me to church every week and they educate me on the Bible at home lah. But I think in church, right, other than my parents, it was the children's program, children hour, that also taught me about the Bible every week.
Okay, so when you said growth, then it is at least in this case knowing the Bible lah. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is no test lah. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
If someone were to come up and ask you, hey you, Matthew,
Yes.
if I were to ask you what the gospel is, what would you say?
If someone came up to me and asked me,
What is the gospel?
I
I
would
want to
say
know.
I would say it's a book
Okay.
that has collections of history.
Okay.
But
Alright.
it's the history of God.
Alright. And then if I were to ask you, why is it so important I must know this history and know this God? How would you say?
Why is it so important? I would say because to us Christians, that is how life was lived like thousands of years ago, and that we can try to change from the mistakes that were made from last time.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your point. I do remember one thing as you were sharing your faith, there was, I don't know whether you remember this moment, I asked you who else grew your faith aside from your
Yes.
parents?
I remember.
Yeah. What was your answer?
My answer was the aunties in church.
Okay, so tell me more about the aunties in church that,
Okay.
yeah.
The aunties in church, they are very, very kind, very generous. When I was young, they would, instead of my parents carrying me, I think most of the time would be the aunties carrying me in church. to let my parents have a break. And the aunties, they would let me come to their house to I don't know do what, but go to their house, and then they'll cook for me, and then they'll bring me out. Yeah,
Okay, and if I may poke a bit further, how does what they do anchor your faith even more?
I think it showed me that what a Christian person would do for a younger generation.
What I like about what you said was there are two things I drew out. I think when we grow another person, it's not just within your generation; it's intergenerational.
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, ultimately we have to know who Christ is, who Christ Jesus is, and what He has done on the cross, right? But subsequently, that love is shown just by just investing in your life, lah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, do these aunties still do the same thing up to today?
Yes. They still do.
So they bring you out for makan, they
Yeah.
spend time with you, they love you, shower the love on you. Okay. If you had to choose a role model of your faith currently, I mean, there are many role models you can choose from, and I think they will grow as the years go by. Who at this point sits at the top of your role model?
My brother.
Okay. Tell me more about your brother. That how is he a role model to you?
Well, my brother, he has this habit of bringing a very big Bible to church every week. And then he would also make notes during sermons. And there was once where I didn't read the Bible every day. So I was like, why? Then I lazy. Then it's like, he talked to me more about why we should read the Bible and all those. Then he told me to make a timetable to read Bible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think that's very cool. So a brother who takes interest in his youngest brother's faith walk.
Yes.
And he even got you to create a timetable. And has that timetable helped?
It worked for 1 week. Then I stopped.
It's okay. No, this is good stuff, you know. But when you say stop, as in means got lazy again, is it? Okay. But it was this moment that etched in your mind that my brother wants me. My brother's my role model lah. Because of how he is interested in your faith journey.
Yes.
Is there anything else other than making sure you have a timetable?
Not that I can think of right now.
Wait, so fun fact, does your fun question. Does your brother know that you have stopped?
I think after that day, he probably thought I stopped already.
Oh, okay. Now, allow me to put on this disclaimer as he's being raw and honest here. All of us fail to read our Bible sometimes, okay? So don't he doesn't read his Bible. We all also, okay? Right? I don't have a perfect track record also. I'm trying to finish my Bible in 1 year now. For the past 4 days, I haven't 3 days, I haven't been consistently reading. Yeah, so that takes a while. So which brings us now to this next question on the bigger idea of your generation, right? When you think about Gen Alpha, how do you think the current generation, so I want you to imagine your peers around you, your friends, how are they receptive to Christianity? Are they rejecting it? Are they open to it? Yeah.
So there are two different types. One is very invested in Christ, and the other one is like going away from it. So the one that goes away from it, like for going to youth, for example, some will come on and off because they either have like extracurriculars or tuitions. And the ones that are very invested, they will come every week. They will even bring a physical Bible. Like, we like to use our phones for Bible, right?
Yeah.
But they will bring their own Bible to read. And I feel very encouraged from those that like to bring their Bible and will come every week, because they are a role model of this generation that shows that not all Gen Alphas will go away from Christ.
And personally for you, do you personally have your this one you can be honest, do you personally have a burden when you see your non-Christian friends not, as you said just now, right, the Bible tells you how to live this Christian life even years ago, and you see your friends not living this life, do you respond to them, or do you say like, I'm quite afraid to talk about these things?
Okay, so I have a friend at school, actually a few. they say they're Christians, but I see the way that they live their life in school are not Christian-like at all. So I'm quite afraid to talk to these people lah. Because first of all, I'm what you can call a banana, not good in Chinese.
Okay.
So I won't really know how to explain to them also. And I think that they're also a little bit set in their ways on how they see Christianity.
Okay. Give me one small example that you see a so-called Christian Gen Alpha claiming to be a Christian, but one thing that he does differently that you see clearly, without obviously implicating anyone.
So they walk around every day, swearing at everything,
Okay.
at the teachers, at what other people are. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you're like, that's not Christian-like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, with that in mind, right? How do I word it? Personally for you, do you personally struggle with trying to share this good news with others, and what makes it hard for you, and what makes it easy for you?
For what makes it hard for me, there was once in Form 1, a Malay come and asked me, what is the difference between Islam and Christianity? He asked me, why are there three people, like God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? He asked me, what's the difference? Are they not the same people? And then there, I couldn't answer him. And so I went home, asked my father. Then he told me something, but I can't remember anymore.
It's okay. You're 15. Give yourself some
Okay.
grace, right?
Yeah. Then, so for what makes it easy are the people that actually try to accept it. For example, actually, there are no examples. I have not really shared the gospel to any of my friends before.
Is it because you don't have the opportunity, or again, it's the banana thing?
I think it's more because there's no opportunity. Because like every time I want to tell, there's like problems that you think that they will ask, and you think that you cannot answer.
So it's the concerns of not being able to respond to the question.
Yes.
And is the concern when you fail to respond, you feel like, what do you feel if you fail to respond?
That I feel that as a gospel sharer.
Oh, okay. So you feel like a failure. Yeah. What's stopping you from saying, oh, I didn't know, can I get back to you next week?
What's stopping me?
Yeah.
Probably because I'll forget it next week.
Okay.
Or probably they'll lose interest next week.
Yeah. And to be fair to you, explaining the Trinity to our fellow brothers in Malaysia is always the toughest concept, because all three are God, they are one but three distinct persons, and how do you make sense of that reality, right? Yeah, and all analogies tend to fall short when you explain the Trinity.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so far, thank you for sharing all of this, and we are edging towards the end of our sharing already. There are a few more questions that I would like you to share, and I'm very grateful for how you're coming forward with your questions now. So if I were to ask you, within these next 2 years, right?
Yes.
So I purposely put this, then next time you watch 2 years later, I can check in on you, right? Hey, have you done this? What are few aspects about your faith that you would like to grow into?
Few aspects that I would like to grow into is maybe I would like to start reading Bible more. And that I'll try to pay more attention during sermon in church.
Okay. Yeah. And while your brother is with you, does he like do like check-ins, like, hey, how's your Bible reading going along that kind of thing?
Occasionally, not a lot, but occasionally.
Okay. Now, the next question then would be, what do you think are a Generation Alpha struggle in getting into this faith called Christianity? Both who are already Christians and who are not believers yet lah.
I think for both, I think what the main problem is school and time. The parents nowadays like to put their children in a lot of tuitions and extracurriculars, so they won't have a lot of time to come to church or read the Bible. And then some are just don't take interest in this Christianity thing.
Wow. Okay, now allow me to hijack your answer for me
Okay.
to also add to say this, right? Based on his answer, it would suggest that the previous generation parents are all wanting their children to ace in the wrong things. Okay, I'm gonna say this, then you
Okay.
tell me what you think.
Okay.
Like, because Matthew shared that when the parents send them to all these other kind of classes, they don't have time to make time for the most important thing, which is their spiritual walk.
Yes.
And naturally, if as a child, if my parents are sending me to all of this, you are telling me that I shouldn't have interest in the Bible at all.
No. Okay.
Uh,
So from what you said just now, parents are not asking them to do in the wrong thing, but they have different priorities. So maybe family first, then study, then only spiritual walk. And what was the other question?
I haven't asked the other
Oh,
question yet. I was
oh
just
yeah.
sharing my thoughts,
Oh.
and then you were responding to the thoughts.
And I didn't mean that you shouldn't be dedicated in the spiritual walk, but because maybe for some children, when they go to all these extra things, they'll be very tired and very lazy to do anything else.
Yeah. And I agree what you said. I think what you said is quite spot on, which is I personally like your answer. And you summarize it into different priorities. Yeah, when actually the right priority is God first, man. The Bible says seek
Yes.
first His kingdom and His righteousness,
Yes.
and then everything else will be added onto you. So I am personally taking that answer to say you are right, and I think whoever parents willing to listen to shift their priorities lah.
Yes.
Yeah. I always like the imagery of when your parents bring you for certain prayer meetings. And while sometimes there's some parts you do not need to engage in, you'll go be studying your geography book there. Yeah, and I thought that was a very nice imagery where, of course, as your age, right, your main calling is to be a child and to be a student, right? So study well for God's glory,
Yes.
but not to the point where you neglect your faith. And so your parents are trying to teach you that. Yeah. So obviously I do not have the same context as you, but as you share that, I do want to take this chance to share with the rest, whoever parents are willing to listen, to consider where are you sending your Gen Alpha children on the daily basis, and does that timetable ultimately reflect something that you want your child to grow in faith, you know? Yeah. Okay, so I'm down to my last two questions.
Okay.
Okay. My final question is, if you're like the previous generations to know something about your generation so that they can engage you better and disciple you better, right? What would you want to tell them? So imagine I'm this old uncle, or I'm a Gen Z or whatever, right? And I'm just failing to connect with you for whatever reason. Tell me, why do you think I might be failing, and what can I do to connect with the generation better?
Okay, maybe that they fail to understand that we won't follow the old ways that they are taught in, and that they should maybe try to accept what we do, and they can lead us along the way and tell us that this is wrong or what is this, because we might have a different aspect from what we understand from the Bible or from what they understand.
Correct.
And it may be wrong or it may be correct. So we can try to do new things, but they should also try to understand and guide us along the way what is right and what is wrong.
I like how you phrase it, like not merely just telling you off, but have come from a position where they understand why you do what you do first.
Yes.
Yeah. And sometimes when they react to certain things that the Gen Alpha do, it seems like they cannot accept lah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And I'm sure on your personal level, certain things that you do that are very Gen Alpha, there's a purpose and a reason to it. So allow me to see whether you can think of one example now. What are some things that you personally do that you feel the older generation may not be able to understand?
Okay. Maybe like, so during prayer meeting, there will be like points to pray on, right? I would tell my father to
Also, you bringing your father into this,
yeah. don't need to print so many pieces of paper because it can save the environment, and that people have phones ready, so they can just use the online one. But it will still insist on like printing 30 pieces for some reason. And then I understand like, because he says that it's very difficult to read on the screen to him.
Yeah.
So, but I think that he can do that, but he doesn't need to print so many pieces of paper.
Yeah. So only for the older people, lah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand. So you value saving the environment. He values convenience of reading, for example.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. At least in the simplest basic
Yeah,
way
the
lah.
simplest basic.
And I think yeah, I understand how different methods is tough to like. Oh, nowadays people just look at the phone and everything,
correct.
and they be like, yeah lah, just look at the phone lah. Okay. So I think we have. Let me do a quick summary of what I'm understanding from you lah. What I have learned at least is the generation alpha, at least from your point of view, is living in the age of internet generation.
Yes.
And with that, a lot of methods is very technological savvy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which includes the way you game, the way you engage with notes and all that. And it might show that certain generations may fail to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that some churches might fail to engage the Gen Alpha is that they're using very traditional means to reach out to the younger generations, i.e. you, and at least begin with trying to understand where you guys are coming from. Yeah. Now, allow me to ask this then. How would you say that, like, is there anything that you think can challenge your faith right now? Or you're saying, oh, no, I'm going to be Christian 100% every step of the way?
There might be things that might challenge my faith.
Mm.
There might, cause like the internet is very, very open and very, how do you say, not that safe.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
So, to me, maybe I think it's okay. But to others, I think that the internet may become a big problem on their path of Christ.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think it's a very humble acknowledgement that, I mean, I'm also talking from a Gen Z point of view. Sorry, I'm a millennial, so I'm not Gen Z, sorry. Oops. Ayo, feel so old. Even me entering the internet, the kind of spaces that is awarded to you and the kind of, the word I use is misinformation
Yes.
that happens, is quite scary. And I think that's a good acknowledgement. You who acknowledge that you grew up being part with the internet, at the same time recognizing the internet is not always the safest. Would you say that parents need to look into that to guide their children's faith better?
Yes, they should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You think your parents are putting certain guidance in this area also?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And do you like it? Like when I'm guessing it's like don't play so much, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay lah, because I know that it's good for my well-being not to play so much. So sometimes it can get a bit annoying, but ultimately I know that it's good for me, so they're doing a good job.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much for taking this time to share. And just to keep in mind, right? As he shares his honest thoughts, right? This is a reflection for all of you to be thinking, how can we be discipling the generation Alpha even better, right? I vouch for him. I've seen how he has had the privilege of having a lot of aunties, uncles, parents, brothers to always make sure that he's knowing Christ more and more. Yeah. And I think you're very grateful for that also lah.
Yes, very.
Yeah. Allow me to also add this one. Do you think every Gen Alpha gets the same experience as you do?
No, I have seen my friends, and I'm thinking like, why? Cause like, okay, for example, my friend, that time we had a art project. We supposed to do sewing, and then he didn't know how to sew. I'm like, huh? Then I realized that my parents, they expose me to a lot of things. For example, sewing, they bring me a lot of places. They bring me to see a lot of people that can share their different experiences. So I feel that I'm pretty privileged to be able to be born into this family that I can experience a lot of things.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure your parents are very proud of you. I'm sure the church also loves you a lot. Yeah, yeah. And I adhere to what he says, and to also encourage parents who are having their children right now, to be intentional. If of what kind of children are you wanting to produce? I know his parents, and if I were to ask his parents, right, the answer will be hands down. I want Matthew to know who his God is, and that's the journey he's on, and that's the journey he portrays. And as his age, at the 15-year-old, my desire for him also is 2 years later, he will have finished reading his whole Bible in 1 year, kind of thing. He'll be praying more, he'll be loving God more, kind of thing. Do you have any last words that you'd like to share? If there's anything that's in the bottom of your heart that you want the audience to hear from you, what would it be, if you have?
I just want the younger generation to know that even though the older people may not understand you, you still have to try to make them understand, even though it may seem impossible.
It may seem impossible, right? But through Christ, all things are possible. Sorry, that's a bad joke. Yeah. Okay, I guess that's it for now. This is the Teo-logy podcast. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.